If you run a dropshipping business in 2018 or you plan to do so, you need to understand that the single biggest impact in your business will not be how you run your Facebook ads or which apps you install in your Shopify store. These days it seems like so many people join e-commerce and dropshipping every single day, and many of them are just looking for some quick hacks and some quick tips and some quick little techniques to fix a store that is actually pretty shitty or just not that good. So many people are joining every single day, but the majority of them are all doing the same stuff over and over again. So they are using Facebook ads, they use AliExpress to source their products, they set up some simple landing pages, they use these conversion tactics just as scarcity, urgency, social proof and all the things, connect them together and expect a store that generates them predictable sales. So everyone is looking for the quickest way to actually launch and start, but what is the one big thing that actually most of these people leave out completely and that almost no one is doing? Well, on an operational level, all these guys are actually pretty good. Like, they know how to run Facebook ads, at least somewhat decent well, and you know how to set up a store and everything. But it seems like almost everyone doesn't care about the foundations and about the actual basis of the business. So no one is really actually looking into the marketing strategy behind the whole thing. If you start and you have no idea like what you want to sell or how you want to sell or to which people, and you just like want to get started as quickly as possible so that you can start advertising immediately and so that you start making sales, or at least hope to do so, this is actually a pretty bad way to get started in 2018, because you have so many competitors that are all doing the exact same things that you are. If you don't really think about what you want to do different and why you should now be the one who makes the sales, it is pretty much like gambling. Like, you set up the same things that the others do and you hope that your campaigns will be the ones that are successful and not the other people's campaigns. If you understand the bigger picture and why people should shop at your store, this will absolutely help you in the long run, but also help you to make sales in the first place. So important things are, for example, how do you want to promote your products? Like, on which traffic sources do you want to use, which make the most sense in your context? Like, if you sell this kind of product, then you probably want to go with this traffic source. But also, what is your most important audience, and how do you want to position yourself next to your competitors? So for example, probably you sell a similar product like your competitors, but if you position yourself in the high-end range so that you carefully select your suppliers, that your prices are a little bit higher, and you build your website around that, so your whole website is a little more serious, you have a darker look, everything looks a little more professional and luxurious, this could be one way to position yourself and to stay in your customers' minds when they are looking for products like yours. What image do you want to have? Like, how do you want to be perceived by your customers? Should they go to your website and think, oh man, this is a pretty funny thing, I really sympathize with these people? Or do you really want to create this feeling, like I said, having this luxurious brand that people want to stop by because they think it's some kind of prestige, which of course is pretty hard to do, but with influencers, for example, you may be able to build something like that. So all these things actually require that you sit down and that you really think on what you want to do and how you want to do it before you rush out there and launch your store. I know that it's pretty tempting to just get started with ads and hopefully see some sales, but it's actually the absolute wrong way to get started at this point with all the competition rising. So if you really take your time and sit down, and before you launch your store and before you launch your ad, you actually like research who your competitors are, why you get into that space, and then you come up like building your Shopify store, building the branding around it. Depending on how you sell your products or which products you sell, you probably choose a different color scheme. You come up with some like very cool, unique product descriptions that fit your style. And if you do all these things, and of course this means that you delay the release and the advertising of your store a little bit, but it will definitely pay off, because you have something that not all the other people out there that compete for the same set of customers as you do, you have something that all these people do not have in this specific case. So I want to give you a little example. When I started with e-commerce back in 2015, so I've been doing this for quite a while, I was also dropshipping, but I planned and you know, structured my store for like 1 month before I finally started making sales and finally officially launching. So I was selecting suppliers. I at some point bought actually a sample so that I could test it and I could check, like, is the product good? I had a one product store at this point. And I really wanted to find out, like, what is the best way to get started. So I analyzed my direct competitors. I was looking at what they were doing. I positioned myself at a different spot than they did. And I really was like, I need to build my website accordingly so that people were able, or people were willing to pay the higher price. I needed to learn what my competitors are doing exactly. I needed to find out what my target customers are. So it really took some time until I finally launched the store. But when I did, like after the first few days, even though it was a high ticket item, I was able to generate sales and hit 6 figures relatively quickly. So I can definitely tell that thinking a little bit about your strategy and putting a little more effort into your site, your funnel, your marketing plan, and how you advertise and so on, this will really pay off, because you can be sure that at least 90% of all the other people that are competing with for your customers won't do these things. So if you do it correctly, you almost automatically have an advantage over these people already. One other example, just a few weeks ago I came across a store that was selling like stuff for swimming and surfing and diving and all these things. And this store was also running as a dropshipping business, but they were doing stuff entirely different. Like they had a super funny tone of voice in their whole website, right? So they had this About Us page where they were presenting themselves in a very, very funny way, where you immediately connected to these people. Their product pages looked just amazing. They had these great product descriptions, but like I said, the stuff was very ironically. So they were basically making fun of themselves in a very, very cool way. So even though I didn't want to buy anything there, I was just spending so much time on this store because it was so entertaining, and I still remember the store today, even though it was weeks ago, and normally I see so many dropshipping stores that I don't remember them for like more than 10 minutes. And this one was really standing out, and they were doing very, very well only because of this concept. Everything else was just like, you know, Facebook ads, Google AdWords. They were doing this stuff, but it was not what's making the difference. The difference was actually that they were presenting themselves entirely different than all the rest, and only then, after they had this basis, they were using Facebook ads and Google AdWords and influencers to get their customers. So of course now this doesn't mean that you have to do it in that way in order to be successful, but it simply maximizes your chances in this crowded marketplace. So you have to ask yourself whether you want to go the normal route of just import or just sourcing products on AliExpress, putting them on Facebook, sending people to your store, having all these trust badges and stuff in place but nothing else, and then hoping for the sale. Of course this can still work. People are still making like 6, 7, 8, 9 figures with it, but it's getting more and more difficult, and your chances of succeeding by only doing that are actually getting worse and worse. So I'm giving this tip to you only because this will increase your chances. I'm not saying that this will like give you 100% chance of success, but it will definitely like double, triple, quadruple or more increase your chance of launching a successful store in the first place. Yes, it is a little bit unsexy to do it that way and to, you know, to really strategize and to really think and work hard on building this one cool store. And of course you probably don't hit this immediately, but once you have this in place, you know, you can send traffic to it, you can see how customers react to your store, probably you get some sales immediately, you can improve on that, and this will definitely help you build a lasting dropshipping business that at some point in time may even turn into a business where you fulfill your products yourself in a fulfillment center or whatever. So guys, I hope that this little video was not demotivating or anything. It was definitely not what I had in mind. I just want to make sure that you really know what it's about, and that, you know, in the future with 5, 7, 800 stores joining the space every single day, of course it gets more and more difficult and to succeed with the old ways. So with this in mind, be aware that this will be important. You can still succeed in the old way, but it will be harder. So maybe this was a little tip that made you think and makes you like, hey, okay, really, you know, this is probably something I want to try. This is what I could be doing different in my business. So I hope that this little tip helped you and that you will be able to build the store based on that. So guys, thanks for watching. I really hope that you liked this little video and this little tip. Please leave a like if you did. Also leave a comment if you disagree or if you agree, and if you have any suggestions or whatever, any questions, of course, post them here as well. Please subscribe if you like this content, if you want to see more about e-commerce, dropshipping and marketing. And yeah, just as I said guys, thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.